Hi ladies, and welcome back to our summer hair DIY summer hair hacks, and all about protecting our hair and getting our hair up in fun, healthy ways. So tonight we are going to focus on our essential line, which we know we've talked about how elastics can be damaging and how Lilla Rose accessories can help protect your hair from breakage and whatnot. But tonight we want to talk about general hair health. So Lilla Rose has been coming out with these hair essentials, what we're calling essentials, to protect your hair from different things. Now, I will say not everybody is going to be able to use every product, although I actually do, depending on how I'm doing my hair. But say if you have curly hair, you may not need the sea salt spray or whatnot. But we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into each essential, but I'm going to finish with demonstrating our hair mascara. This is brand new and we are so excited about this. And just so you know, I have not had my roots done. I'm like 3 to 4 weeks behind just because I wanted to wait to demonstrate this product once we got our hands on it. And I just got my hands on it, and it will be available to you on July 1st. So I will be demonstrating that at the end. So make sure you stay tuned and make it worth me waiting. As it is now, I think she said August is her next appointment that I can get, so I think I'll be getting on the cancellation list, I hope. So I am going to start with our rose water. Now the rose water was our first essential that came out, and it is amazing. If you know anything about essential oils, you know that rose oil is just amazing for skin health and hair. But the rose water is made from Bulgarian roses, which is the epitome of the best of the best. In Bulgaria, they have the best climate and conditions for roses to grow really well there, and they have the highest amount of constituents in the roses that really help. So all those top end rose oil bottles, these little bottles are made with Bulgarian roses, and the really pure ones, they can cost over $200. I mean, the Bulgarian roses are where it's at. And this is made, it's steam distilled from Bulgarian roses, and it's a hydrosol, which basically means they boil the roses and then they catch that steam as it comes up, capture that, it recondenses, and that's your rose oil. So it's pure rose water. I said oil, I meant water. Rose water. And it smells heavenly. I am not a big fan of rose scents, usually fake rose scents, but this smells amazing. Now, what we use it for, you can use it for skin and hair. I'll be using it a little bit later because after I demonstrate one of the other things, I'm going to probably need this. But it helps for smoothing, flyaways. It can put moisture into your hair, and it's also amazing for your skin. So a spritz right on your face in the morning before you put your makeup can really help. It does tend to help because roses are so good for our skin. It helps with redness. I'm not claiming cure on anything, but I've seen some crazy before and after pictures from different types of rashes and heat rash, rosacea, and different things. So it really does. Those roses just have that property of helping with, I guess, inflammation, but redness and just moisturizing your hair. So it is an amazing thing, a tool to have. And since it is summertime, I've seen some people using it for sunburn. And I make up, since I do essential oils, I have some sunburn spray, a bunch of different oils, and aloe and whatnot, but I don't put that on my face. This I could spray on my face if I get sunburned, and it does provide relief. So you may want to have this in your arsenal at some point. So that's our rose water. And I might be saying rose oil interchangeably, but it is rose water, not rose oil. And the next thing is our sea salt spray. And if you don't have natural curls, this is a fun way to get a little bit of beachy waves if you don't have them naturally. So if you're lucky enough to be at the beach and the ocean, if you notice, your hair will get curlier when you get out of the water as it dries. Well, sea salt spray is a great way to have that yourself. It can also add volume to your hair. It does not have alcohol in it, which is fabulous. A lot of sea salt sprays that you'll see out there have alcohol in it, which is very drying. Now, sea salt in itself can be a little bit drying, but if you put alcohol with it, it's very drying and can be extra damaging to your hair. This doesn't have any alcohol in it. It smells fresh. It almost smells, I don't know, it reminds me of the ocean a little bit with it. But it does, it adds, I've had one stylist who has very thin, not thin, but real fine, silky hair. And she loves it for volume because she says it can double her hair volume just by using a couple sprays, combing it through damp, and then drying it. I will often use the sea salt spray if I put my hair up in one of those, a ponytail, which you'll see later on in the week, one of those high ponies. I will wet it a little, spray a little bit of water on it, and then add this, especially like it's third day hair, and then just kind of scrunch it up a little bit, and it gives me those fresh waves again, where before it was just kind of frizzy, especially if I'd slept on it. So this is a great refresher to get just some waves and curls in your hair. So the sea salt spray. All right, then this is our hair mask. Now, this is like the gold standard, I think. I love this. In fact, I used this today. Funny story about this. When this came out, it was just selling out like crazy. And so we were like, every time it ran out, we're like, oh, when's it going to come back? But it is amazing. So I noticed after a period of, I don't know how many weeks, my husband's beard all of a sudden was really soft. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because again, I had made up essential oil type beard balms and beard oils before, and he used them some, but not consistently. But I did notice his beard was soft, and he's like, well, I'm using that stuff in the shower. I'm like, what stuff in the shower? And at first I'm like, you're using my hair stuff? But believe me, after a time when we were getting really low and we were still out, it wasn't in stock, I told him to go ahead and use it. He could be the one. I would wait because it made such a difference in his beard. And he just uses it once a week. Happens to be on Tuesdays. So he'll add a little bit to his beard while he's in the shower and then rinses it out. So if your honey has a beard, I highly recommend this. But it's also extra nourishing and helping that dry, damaged hair, especially in the summertime when our hair tends to be more dry. It's exposed to the sun more. Now today I put it on. I got in the shower, washed my hair, put on the hair mask, tied it up, or put it up in a bun in my swerve, got out of the shower, and I put on one of our hair caps, or shower caps. And they're just waterproof both ways. They wash out really easily. So I put that on, and then I just did some stuff around the house for probably an hour and a half, and then jumped back in the shower and rinsed it out. That's more of an intensive treatment. That's the first time I've done that, because I wanted to see if it made a difference, and it really did. So I will be doing that probably more often, but regularly I will, every couple weeks, I will put some in and just put it on at the beginning, wash my hair first, put this in, put it up in my swerve, and then finish getting ready to shave my legs, do all that, and then rinse it out. And it just adds that extra conditioning and moisture that our hair needs. So highly recommend this. It has shea butter and argan oil in it, and it strengthens and hydrates. Really, this, like I said, we have a hard time keeping this in stock. It is worth it to have some, and I would probably grab two because you're gonna love it. So, all right, so I talked about the shower caps. Now the shower caps, they do come in two colors. We have light lavender, or a purple and a lavender. So those are awesome, and these hold a lot of hair. People worried that they weren't going to be big enough. They have elastic on one side and it kind of just fitted on the other. It will hold, I mean, I have so much more room in this one. So I've seen some ladies with some crazy long or thick hair and lots of curls be able to get their hair in this. So it will fit almost any amount of hair. All right, so then let's see, I think I'm going to switch to our hair towels. Now we came out with this luxurious bamboo hair towel. Comes in a little box like this. Well worth it. Now I used to use microfiber towels, and I don't know what it is about the bamboo other than the fact that it feels so luxurious and soft. I wish they made a bathrobe. I'm still holding out for a bathrobe in this. It's so soft. But bamboo has the fibers that will just pull and wick moisture away. So I will put this on as soon as I get out of the shower. What you do, just kind of, and at first we're like, how does that even work? There's a couple ways you can do it, but mostly you put it on like this, you gather your hair up. I'm not gathering all my hair up, but lovely, huh? Then it's got a little elastic here that clips on that you hook around a button. And then you just keep, sorry, it looks kind of silly. I just keep that on while I do my makeup. And then by the time I finish my makeup, my hair is mostly dry. I just have a very little time, and the less heat that's on our hair, the better for our hair. So it requires a whole lot less dryer time. So love the bamboo towel. Now we also just came out not too long ago with our our gauze towel. So the gauze towel comes in this nice little zipper pouch. Whoops. For travel, if you want to hang on to that. I still would probably use a sea salt spray to take my hair back down because I had a feeling after the towel it would kind of get crazy. So the gauze towel is great for curly hair. Now with curly hair and the curly girl method, I've studied it, I've tried it. I do have really naturally curly hair, so this is straightened or blown out. But I haven't been able to stick with it, the curly girl method, because I like to go straight periodically. But with the curls, you want more moisture in your hair. You don't want it too dry before you add your extra products to kind of define those curls and get your curl clusters, your curl clumps. So you don't necessarily want that bamboo towel because it will pull too much moisture out. So curly girls are loving this gauze towel. Now when I think gauze, I think really thin, but it's actually very, very thick. There's multiple layers of gauze in this. I mean, you can kind of see, I can see light through it, but not very much. And it's roomier than the bamboo towel. So there's a little bit more room for hair. I haven't heard anybody that can't get all their hair in this. And it works the same way. It's got the little loop and then a button there that just kind of twists up and whatnot. So it's a little bit bigger than the bamboo towel. Both great for keeping that hair up. I am going to use some of that rose water because I can see my hair stand up. So you don't need much. And I'm just going to spray it lightly, and then I'll segue into our combs. So I'm just going to brush that through lightly. Okay, and it's going to tame those flyaways down. This is our shower comb. I have one in the shower, and I have one over by my sink. I keep this in the shower along with my swerve. They just hang in there all the time, so they stay there because I use them in the shower every single day. But with the comb, our hair is very fragile when it's wet, so we want to be very gentle when we're combing out, brushing out wet hair, which is why you never really want to have those elastics in your hair while you're swimming, or take them out, let your hair dry before you would do that, because your hair is going to be more likely to break during that time. So wide tooth combs are great. Start at the end as you work the conditioner or the mask through. You want to be very, very gentle as you go through. So wide tooth combs is pretty much what I use all the time for combs. We also have a hairbrush that is amazing. I only use this hairbrush when my hair is straight like this. I typically don't because it's got more of the bristles, but if you have straight hair, you will love this brush. It's got the kind of cushiony, and each of the prongs have the little plastic guard on there. So love their hairbrush. And we have a teasing comb that's great for parting hair or teasing just that little bit. So also handy to have. So those are, I'm going to put those over here. So those we also have. Then we have our dry shampoo, which if you're trying to stretch out your hair days, and which is healthier, I mean, washing your hair every single day, I understand some people need to if they produce so much oil, but there's also, hair training involved, kind of like training your hair, because it feels like it produces more oil because it's always dry, because it's always being washed. So you can stretch out. I used to have to wash my hair every day. Now I'm probably washing my hair every 4 days. But dry shampoo can help on those in between days when you're trying to stretch it out just one more day, or after you work out and your hair is a little sweaty, maybe a little oily. You just do a little bit. I'm going to show you here. You just want to lift up under the roots where it's oily and just spray it. And now you want to let it dry. Okay, so you spray it, lift, spray it, and then let it kind of do something else. You can put your makeup on, let it set and let it dry as it's going to absorb those oils. I'm still going to leave it be for just a second. Put the lid back on it, put it over here. Doesn't take long, okay, yep. And then you just want to kind of take your fingers and massage it in just a little bit, just to get the rest of those oils, and then you can style it as needed. And you'll be shocked at how well this works. Love, love, love the dry shampoo, and it smells good too. All these things smell amazing. But my favorite scent is the Detangler and our conditioning spray. Now this is made with let's see, I should have brought my glasses. Pro Vitamin, B5 amino acids, and botanical extracts. It smells amazing. It smells like the beach. It's a little bit coconutty, but this is great. This is, if you saw Lisa's video that she posted earlier with her daughter had been sick for several days and had been in bed that whole time, and you know how your hair gets kind of all gnarly and matted up. She took just a couple sprays and it was almost like butter combing through that. So what my routine is after I get out of the shower, I take off my hair towel. It's pretty dry. I don't want to rake through, even with the shower comb, my hair immediately because I don't want to stretch and have any hair break. So I will do a couple sprays of the Detangler conditioning spray. And it also has UV protectant. Did I mention that? But I will spray that on, then gently comb through those tangles or knots, or just getting my hair straightened out gently. So I love that. So it adds conditioning as well as preventing any more breakage. So if you have young daughters that you're constantly battling, I wish I'd had this with my child when she was little, because she still hates having her hair brushed or combed. But it is amazing, and it really is something I think you're going to want to have. Then we just came out with the Thermal Defense, which happens to be this month's special. You can get this for $5 with a qualifying purchase. So the Thermal Defense is also a UV protectant, and it's a heat protectant. So if you are using a hair dryer or a curling iron, this is definitely something you need to be using a heat protectant. It's also good, for being out in the sun. We have found that it also helps with volume, just like the sea salt spray. But sea salt spray gives some texture to it too, because it's gonna kind of want to curl up on the hair. The Thermal Defense doesn't really have so much texture to it, but it does add volume. So that is something you may want, and it smells like a high-end salon. Like, all of them smell amazing. They all have their own kind of scent, but it doesn't hang around. The only one I would say that potentially I would smell later on in the morning, by the afternoon it's completely gone, probably late morning it's gone. But the only one that I've noticed that I could possibly smell after I've gotten ready is the rose water, probably. So they dissipate, they don't stick around long, but it does smell good while you're putting it on, so you feel like you've been to a salon. So that's the Thermal Defense. Now, before I get to the hair mascara, which I promise I will get to, I wanted to show you some of the other things we have in stock, and those are scarves. We typically think of Essentials as scarves, but if you like scarves, we have some really fun ones, and I'm going to demonstrate kind of a unique way to wear one that you might not have thought about using one of our flexies. So we have all kinds of styles, and these are, I think, 30% off right now, the purple ones. Then we've got all kinds of colors with polka dots and different things, some really pretty colors. So you can kind of incorporate those into your hair if you want. So there's lots of ways to do it. This is one of our newest ones. It came out with our orchid clip, and you can see it's just got such pretty purple colors. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you a scarf tutorial with one of our scarves using a flexi. Actually, I'm going to show you with two because I saw one recently that I really liked. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start with just maybe, I don't know if you can see that, scoot back a little bit. Most of it on one end. So you're going to have most of it, drape it over your shoulder, but this end should be short, maybe come down almost to your waist, maybe not even quite. And you're going to drape it over your shoulder, and this end's over your shoulder as well. Then you're going to take this tail that's left over here, and you're going to throw it over your shoulder. Now I'm going to need to come back. And then you're going to gather, make sure I'm not getting my shirt, gather that part of the scarf up. Now I am using our orchid clip that is so pretty, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have to put this in left-handed. But you just flex that around. Now this is a medium. Sometimes I recommend a small for this. It just depends on the size of the scarf. If you're going for a really thin silk scarf, I go with an extra small. Bulkier scarves need a medium. Really big knit scarves probably need a large. But there's tons of ways you can incorporate flexies into your scarf styles. So even if you have short hair but you love the flexies and the accessories, there are ways to incorporate them. Now you can also, if you want, you can put the tail down, but it kind of keeps it out of your way. It is great to have a scarf. I usually keep a scarf and a flexi around. If you get cold, you're out at the ball field and you've got a spaghetti strap or a tank top on and you're getting cold, you can grab that scarf out of your purse, put it on. Your hands are still free to cheer. Or if you're in church and the air conditioner kicks on, your hands are free to praise. So it's just an easy, simple way to incorporate that. Now, I also wanted to show with you, because I just tried this because it was sitting here and I'm like, oh, I love that, with our flexi flip. I'm going to scoot back up now. Sorry, got a close up with those gray hairs. All right, now the beauty of the flexi flip, which I was just thinking about that, I hadn't thought about that until I was setting this up, is that you can wear this for different size scarves because it can fit different sizes. So if the scarf is larger, I can use it with the curve going toward the flexi, and if it's a smaller scarf and I want it tighter, it can be against there to allow for a tighter fit. So I'm going to try it with a tighter fit on this scarf, and these colors look so pretty with this scarf, I will say. And then it kind of curves with it. You just stick that pin through. And there you go. You can see that. Isn't that nice? And then if you flex it over, bring it down. So just another way to incorporate those flexies. When we say they're versatile, we mean it. Okay, now for what you've been waiting for, the hair mascara. I want to show you, well, before I get started, I'm going to give you the question, the question for the entry for the drawing tonight. I want you to go to your stylist, if you don't already know this, and find your customer ID number. If you're already a customer, you can go just log on and you can see what your customer number is and post it down below. If you've never bought online before, you're going to need to get a customer number to sign up and register for an account, and your stylist can help you with that. But that will give you your customer number. So if you've only purchased in person, you will need to go to the website to register to get your ID number. So just post that down below. And you don't have to do it right now because I want you to stick around for the mascara. You've got lots of time to do that, so you don't have to run away and do it now. There's no time limit on it. So here is the hair mascara, what you've all been waiting for probably. These are the colors that we have. There are 12 shades available for this, and you're thinking, what is hair mascara and how can I use it? I'm going to show you 4 ways that I can use the hair mascara. Now, they have everything from light blonde to like real pretty auburn red to black. I will not be using those, and then lots of colors in between those. So we had the opportunity as stylists to earn some this month and get them shipped early to us. And then I actually ordered an extra one because I wanted to play around. So I'm actually going to be using 4 shades from, I don't know if you can see those, kind of from a lighter, medium blonde. We always debate this. So you always think of your hair. I mean, I had really blonde hair growing up, but then thought of it as brown, and I really don't know if it's blonde or brown now. But I can use all 4 of those easily, and it helps. It doesn't look unnatural. So you don't need to sweat about finding the exact color. Lots of colors in your range, if you get close, are going to work. for this. So don't worry too much about finding the exact shade, but we do have 12 shades to choose from. I do kind of recommend getting a couple that you think would be close to kind of play around with, because highlighting is one of the benefits. So it's kind of the highlight of this video. So we are going to start with, I gotta see which one. I think I'm gonna start with this one. Okay, so I mean, it's hard to see exactly, and I'm gonna move this in a little bit so to get closer so that you can see. Now you can see those grays. I have some underneath. And then, so I'm gonna, what I thought, because sometimes I think this looks grayer and this looks grayer, so I'm gonna kind of do it from the, just do the front part, and then you'll be able to compare it to the back. I will leave the back undone. So let's see here. It's exactly, you know, what you would think with mascara. It's got a wand here. So I'm going to, it is really hard to see. I did bring a little mirror so that I can hopefully do this so that you can still see. Look at that. I mean, it's crazy. Can you see that? Okay, now I'm gonna do it with, and I usually kind of, if you don't want it to be too obvious, you want to, like, I streak it through a little bit and add kind of those highlights. Or I didn't want to go too far back. So I'm gonna add that color. Okay. Then I'm going to add some more like golden brown, or maybe golden blonde. Like I said, I'm not the best at colors, knowing what's what. But I'm going to kind of, and you don't have to, the thing about this is you don't have to cover the whole thing. All right, and you want it to dry. I have a tendency, I just want to keep going. I don't want to stop because it works so well. Okay, so you want to let it dry just like you would regular mascara. If you've ever put on regular mascara and then sneezed, and then you've got black little dots everywhere. So you want it to dry before you mess with it. So one of the advantages of the hair mascara versus the spray, I feel like I'm really close to you now, is the fact that you can put it where you want it. With those sprays, which I have used before, but you have no control over where it goes, and you never know if like it clogs up, it's going to go psh, and just put all this in one spot, and then you're stuck as you're ready to go out the door. So you spray it, you get on your face. If you cover your hand, then you've got all over your hand. There's usually damage control when it comes to makeup because it doesn't go where it's supposed to go. So this, you can put it exactly where you want it. Now, I do recommend styling your hair first, so, because sometimes when I go to, before when I used that spray, I think I sprayed my part where it is, and then I pull my hair up, and my hair's totally different. So now there's more gray showing, and that part that I had hit wasn't even showing. So with this, you just style your hair, and wherever you need that touch up, you can go. So I'm still, yeah, it's almost dry, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer with that. Now you can also, let's see, this one, I don't want to get it mixed up with the others. Let's see. Another thing, one of the other ways, so that's one way, is covering up that part and doing some highlights. All right, I don't know if I did enough highlights there. Let me get my other mirror. You can add in, I saw one of our stylists who had pretty dark hair. She went in with the red and put red highlights. It was beautiful. And it just looks so fun. So you can get pretty creative with these. I know some people have been asking for like fun colors like purple and blue. We'll see. But right now it's just traditional. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you then, that was one way. Now I have kind of like this receding hairline that I've always had, but I have like really fine baby hairs there that are blonde, really light, so you just can't see them. But if I can go in with these and just kind of give those a little color. Of course, I picked the very lightest color. Let me see. Well, let me go a little darker. That might be too dark. All right, so if I go in with, can you see that? I just go in and give that a little color, picking up that hair that's there, you just can't really see it. It kind of fills that in a little bit and it's not as noticeable. Again, I'm going to dry that. So once it's dry, you just can kind of, where'd that comb go? Kind of brush it through. I mean, and you can see the difference about right there is where, now did I get too dark there? I might have gotten too dark there. Yeah, it looks like I got a little dark there. I need to lighten that up. We're going to lighten it up. Okay, I have a lot of gray. I'd have to go really deep to get it all right now. But because I'm really late in getting to that point. So like there, all that I could get. Well, let's see, I can at least do that. All right, almost done with the hair part. And I need my mirror. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It just kind of disappears. Definitely enough to get you through until you can get to the salon. Amazing. Now, the other thing you can do with it is eyebrows. So I usually have a little bit, like fill in my eyebrows a little bit. I don't think I overplucked, but I think as we age, our eyebrows just kind of disappear. And if they're light especially, they're hard to see. So you can go in with a little bit of the hair mascara to lighten up, or darken, I'm sorry. You always want to brush up and again let that dry, and you brush up with that. So you can see the difference. You can see that brow. You can hardly see that brow. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I did bring down my little brow brush that once it's dry I will kind of brush that out, but you can see the difference much more pronounced than just real little bits. All right, the last way I want to show you. So we filled in, you know, the part or covered some gray hairstyle. We filled in those baby hairs to maybe fill in some thinner areas, and we did our brow. Now I want to show you, like, if when you pull your hair up, I don't know if you're like me. Let me see if, how do I want to do my hair? Gotta think. I'll just do a ponytail with my swerve. All right. So, all right. Do you ever get, especially at the end, you see the wings? I mean, and it's so frustrating if you can really see it with the white background there. All right. Very annoying at times. Now my hair is darker here, so I'm going to go with the darker part. This, prepare to be amazed. This is, I love this. So you just take that, brush it back, and it's going to take those back for you. And they're going to stay there. They're not going to come out. Of course, I can't see what I'm doing. I really need my mirror. Yeah. Okay, so, whoops, sorry. All right, so for this one, I'm just going to brush it. So I'm coloring my grays at the same time. That, you can see those grays. So the color at the same time, I take that back. The same thing with the wispies at the back of your neck. Sometimes I don't mind a little bit of fringe, you know, that comes down here, but you can just take that hair mascara and pull those up. Right now, I think they're pretty far up, but after a while they'll come down. But you can prevent them from coming down by doing a little bit. That might have, maybe you didn't see that. I forgot how close I was. So you can prevent that from happening, maybe preemptively putting a little of the hair mascara up there, and they won't come down. So isn't that fun? I just love it. So 12 colors to choose from. And oh, one of the tip also, if you have curly hair and I'm going to set this back now, I feel so close to you. if you have curly hair, you may not want to take a brush through your hair and disrupt those curls. So one suggestion I have is to use like a lipstick applicator. You can get these online for sure, maybe even at the drugstore, to dip in just a little bit, and then you can place it just where you want it without disrupting those curls and dragging that little mascara brush through your hair. If you have straight hair, it's not going to be a problem at all. So I'm going to, let's see, brush through that. Now, can you see that? Isn't that better? And so you can play around. If you want to see what highlights would look on your hair, you could try some really fun blonde highlights. I haven't done this yet, so I want to practice before I go live in front of a lot of people, so that it looks like I know what I'm doing. But you can have a lot of fun. You could put red highlights in your hair. A lot of fun options. I will need to even up my brows before I'm finished here. But all right, I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to get your stylist or your customer ID number to post below. You can contact your stylist if you need help finding that. You can try out the hair mascara starting in on July 1st. So, and lots of new things coming. There's always a Flexi of the Month coming. So be aware of that and some new products. So make sure you tune in for that. And the hair defense, remember, until the end of the month is available for $5 with a qualifying purchase. So if you have any questions, check with your stylist. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Bye-bye.